Oli Marmol is here to stay, and fans are divided on what to think about his new extension. This is Locked On Cardinals.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily St. Louis Cardinals podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, Cardinals fans. I'm JD Hafron, a former national radio sports anchor, born and raised in St. Louis, a lifetime Cardinals fan. Welcome into another episode of Locked On Cardinals, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. Thank you to our everydayers who continue to be here with us. For those of you who are new, welcome in. Hope you enjoy the content today. This is a show that serves Cardinal Nation, gives you all the info about the birds on the bat. Today's episode is brought to you by MLB The Show 26. Visit MLBtheshow.com/locked on and use code locked on to unlock a pack for use in Diamond Dynasty. That will be useful. Pre-order now, available March 17th on PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. Rated E for everyone. All right. On today's show, we're going to go over this weekend's games, plus the Cardinals ticket and concession deal that's got fans from other franchises drooling about what the Cardinals announced. But the biggest news of the weekend is what happened on Sunday morning when it was announced that the Cardinals have extended manager Oli Marmol for a second time. It is a 2-year extension with a club option for 2029. In the press release, Chaim Bloom released a statement saying that as I've gotten to know Oli, I've seen someone who cares about this organization and knows what has made the Cardinals special over time, and who understands that for us to get where we need to go, we must compete relentlessly to set new standards in everything that we do. He is invested in the progress of our young core and is unafraid to challenge himself and to help those around him grow. I am energized to continue working with him towards the on-field success that we expect and that our fans deserve. Now, this is the second president of baseball operations that has decided to extend Oli as the manager of the St. Louis Cardinals. John Mozeliak chose to do it following that disastrous 2023 season where the Cardinals fell to 71-91 after losing Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina to retirement. And with only 1 year remaining on his deal, Mo made the decision to extend him. Didn't want to set him up for failure, where it was like, hey, if you don't do good, then you might not come back. He didn't want that. And so he extended him. And many people questioned that move and wondered why not let him earn the extension with a better 2024, which made sense to me too. I was on board with that. I was like, let him win the job. Let him earn it by doing better in 2024. Now, in essence, Oli did have a better 2024. And he took a roster that suddenly had that declining Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, who all of a sudden their production just went pew. Plus, he was given a starting rotation that had 4 pitchers who were 34 or older in Sonny Gray, who had signed as a free agent, Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson, both of them had signed as free agents, Miles Mikolas, and he helped guide them to an 83-79 finish. Then last year, during this runway season and Mo's final run as baseball ops, the team was trapped in what I like to call it was a non-rebuild, yet it wasn't a tear down. They were just in this baseball purgatory season that almost everyone knew wasn't going to work. They weren't going to win anything, and they fell below 500 again at 78-84. So in his 4 seasons as the manager, Oli's record is at 325 and 323, which on paper, nothing to write home about by any means. Very disappointing for Cardinal fans. Some wonder why, once again, why the extension is given again when he's got 1 year left. That's the question I see the most from anybody online or in the comments. All of that. Like they want, why are we doing this again when he's got a year left? You know, he's got another chance to prove that he deserves the contract instead of just handing him one during this rebuild. So those are the questions that people have, and I think they're fair questions. And I don't have an exact answer for you. But just observing the way things have played out over the last 3 seasons where the Cardinals haven't been very good, but it's not all on Oli. But it's been clear to me that the players and management, even during these rough seasons, all like and trust Oli. And when you're dealing with young people in general, trust is a very important thing. Now, just think back. Remember when you were younger and you were in high school. Maybe you are in school right now. Maybe you're young enough to be doing this right now. But remember, you had parents, teachers, faculty, coaches that you trusted and that you believed in. You thought they were great. And how much those guys meant to you as opposed to the ones that you didn't care for so much or didn't think had your best interests at heart or didn't know what the heck they were doing and weren't on the same page as what you were trying to accomplish. Totally different experience, right? And I think that's a big part as to why this extension happened. I think it's a big piece of it is because the players trust and believe in him. And if you don't believe that, all you had to do was watch the press conference and see how many of the players were there, either sitting or standing as the announcement took place. Matt Pauley from KMOX had a picture of them all coming in and lining up. And as far as we know, I have heard no reporting that suggests that the DeWitts or Heim or Oli threatened or required players to attend this press conference and threaten them that they'll be cut or something like that if they didn't show up. I have not seen that anywhere. So that means they did it on their own accord because they like him. He's their leader. They believe in him. He is, because I keep using this family aspect of it all, that he's kind of like the dad of this young Cardinal family that they're trying to build. Ownership used a word today that, in my opinion, is imperative when it comes to rebuilding this thing correctly. And we're going to discuss that particular word and other things that the DeWitts and Oli and Heim had to say about this extension. We'll get more into that coming up next on Locked On Cardinals. College basketball is nonstop. Big games, tight spreads, momentum swings. It happens every single night. We're big into, my wife went to Miami, Ohio, and they're undefeated still. So we're living and dying with every game they have. And from early tip-offs to late-night West Coast shootouts, there's always action on the board somewhere. Now FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that energy into even bigger potential wins with a college basketball parlay profit boost. You can build any college hoops parlay you want. You can go with the rivalry games, Mizzou, Kansas, obviously, ranked matchups, whatever fits, right? You can mix spreads, totals, player props to match how you see the slate playing out. You can then apply the profit boost and instantly bump up the potential payout. Go safe, go bold, ride with the team you've been following all season. It's your parlay. You choose. You make the decisions. It's your style, however you want to do it. But now it's got more upside behind it, right? And that's always a good thing, okay? So head to FanDuel.com to get started if you haven't already. That's right. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. FanDuel.com. FanDuel. Play your game. Workplace chaos, deadlines stacking up, inbox overflowing in that one position that you still got to fill. Guess what? Still sitting there, wide open, waiting for the right candidates to come in. Now, when the pressure's on and you need the right hire, this is a job for Sponsored Jobs. Indeed, Sponsored Jobs helps you reach the people who actually fit what it is you're looking for. The skills, the experience, the location. You're talking about baseball players and how they fit on teams, who can field, who can run, who can throw, who can hit. You're trying to find the right skills. So that way you're not hoping that the right candidate just kind of stumbles across your post. Instead, get the right people involved. And here's a stat that says it all. In the minute I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. So if you're hiring, why not spend less time searching and more time interviewing the candidates who check all your boxes with Indeed Sponsored Jobs? Less stress, less time, more results. When you need the right person to cut through all that chaos, this is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. So go to Indeed.com/podcast right now. Support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on Locked On Cardinals. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. Thanks for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen of the day. And thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. Now that baseball is back, lock in by joining the Everydayer Club, which gets you the ad-free episodes, which is great. Of course, you get access to our group chat on Discord. And for the next week or so, we're giving you that code SPRING, SPRING, for a free month. Check it out for yourself. Go to lockedonstlcardinals.supercast.com or tap the link in the show notes for more information. All right, so trust is obviously very key to this whole thing with this Oli extension that we're talking about, his place in what is this rebuild. And from the outside looking in, it sure seems like Oli has got a lot of trust from not only the players, who again came in droves to watch his press conference, but also the people above him. Ownership trusts him. Chaim Bloom trusts him. Chaim's staff trusts Oli. He's been a good soldier through some very tough seasons in St. Louis. And now that they've finally chosen a path to rebuild and do it the right way, they clearly believe that, still only 39 years old, that Oli Marmol fits the mold of what they need their manager to be right now. Now, as Derek Gould pointed out in his piece at stltoday.com, which I encourage you to check out, the Cardinals' emphasis on player development and the farm system returns Oli to his roots. That's where he came from. When his playing days were over in the Cardinals organization, that's what he was doing, helping with player development. And Bloom said in the press conference, talking about Oli, said that, Oli was involved deeply in a lot of what we were building there with our new leadership there. And that's because he understands how important it is for us to be one organization, top to bottom, and how important what we're doing there is. Now, Oli said at the press conference that, he's always been a confident guy, but he said that he feels like he's built exactly for this moment in Cardinals history. And trust me when I say that there are plenty of naysayers who think this is a disastrous move that might have even burned any currency that Chaim Bloom has earned with them this offseason. I've seen plenty of comments where people are like, well, all the good that Chaim did is out the window. It's over. You screwed the pooch, big guy. I honestly, and this is my honest opinion, I don't think that it's a bad move. If I thought it was, I would tell you. Doesn't mean I'm right. Like, I'm not the be-all, end-all of baseball knowledge. But when we say in Chaim we trust, which is something we've been saying on this show, at least I've been saying on this show for a while now, you got to trust him in all the aspects. He's never been shy about making any sort of deals during this offseason in his first few months of being in charge. And he's doing whatever he thinks fits what the Cardinals' long-term goal is. That's what it's all about, the long-term vision. And if he didn't think the relationship with Oli was good, or that Oli didn't belong, or he didn't fit what these players needed, being the ages that they are and what they need from a manager right now, I don't think he would have hesitated to let him finish what this current deal was, which was supposed to be one more year here in 2026, and then go search for someone else. I mean, he's got a Yadier Molina right there in his back pocket. But his owner, Bill DeWitt Jr., said in the press conference they wanted to make sure that everyone knew that Oli is their guy long-term and that they are excited to have continuity. Continuity, that's the key word that I want to bring up to you and highlight here. Because with all of the turnover that has happened and taken place this offseason with the roster and even, in management, the one thing that will now have continuity is the people that are in charge moving forward. The DeWitts aren't selling. They've been here. They're not going anywhere. You can sell the team in the comments if you want to. They're not going to. Chaim Bloom, clearly not going anywhere. Just got in the door and has taken full charge of what this rebuild is going to be. And now they've got the dude they trust at the managerial level locked in as well. And I think it makes perfect sense that the guy that the current players know, respect, and trust, I think it makes sense to give him an opportunity to see this rebuild through. One of the things that we talk about with Chaim Bloom getting kind of the short end of the stick when he was with Boston was that, he rebuilds this farm system and makes all these trades, and everybody points at the Mookie Betts thing, which he was forced to do. But he does all of this and churns this all over, gets him going in the right direction, and gets fired. So we never got to see it through. And I feel kind of the same way for Oli here. He's gone through the crappy seasons, and now they're moving in the direction that many of us agree with. And you kind of want to give them a chance to see it through. So you've got this season coming up in 2026. Hopefully we get a 2027 season, lockout pending, obviously. And then 2028 is the final year to put the Cardinals back on the map. Now, if things change after that, you move on. It's over. If things are going well, then you trigger that club option in 2029 and you keep things going in the right direction. Oli gets to see what he can do to help mold these young players. You give him an opportunity to be a part of all of this and see what he can do. Turn them into winners is the goal, and help rebuild this organization properly and turn it into the powerhouse that most of us grew up knowing and loving. And hopefully it will be again one day soon. I mean, what kind of message would it send to your players and your organization to have him finish out this season, which many believe is not going to go very well record-wise, and then move on to another voice that hasn't earned the trust of the team, hasn't been around when things weren't so good during the dark times, during the Empire, Star Wars. But you know what I mean? Like, what kind of message does that send? So that's just, me thinking through why this extension happened. Okay. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just pointing out some things that kind of stood out to me talking about the press conference. Now, some people are just not going to like Oli no matter what. And that's their prerogative. Bobby Brown said so. It's your prerogative. And my belief is that all these people that aren't happy with Oli not only being the manager before this extension happened, but now even worse because of the extension, to me, it just seems like all they really care about is winning. And outside of 2022, Oli hasn't won that much. Certainly not enough for what we're used to as Cardinals fans. And that's a fact. Now, I tend to blame the front office for things going sour the way they have at the major league level, at the minor league level, in the farm system altogether. But when all you look at is records and standings, which is what a lot of baseball fans do, they don't dig deep into all this stuff. Like, not everybody's super nerds like us when it comes to baseball. But when you go and just look at standings and records, it appears that Oli is a failure. Cancel 2022, that first year. You take that away, and it doesn't look so good for Oli, right? So I understand the thinking. I really do. And it's okay to feel that way. There's plenty of reactions online about this. Here, we'll read a couple real quick about this unserious franchise. Like, wow, Cardinals used to be the gold standard of well-run clubs. What the hell happened? Lifelong fan and supporter here, feels strongly to me that the Cardinals are now locked in on mediocrity. Same ownership group who let Matheny and Jocketty go because the Cardinals expected excellence are now dismissing winners like Yadi. Sorry to say, never been more disinterested in the Redbirds. Now, I don't know if that person is informed that Yadi is still with the organization. He's a special assistant to Chaim Bloom. We're going to see Yadi in uniform again here in 2026 under Oli, which is something that he has constantly supported and said that, not only has Oli wanted Yadi around, but Yadi fully supports everything that Oli's doing. All right. He's got Yadi's seal of approval. Here's another one. The owner clearly doesn't care what the fans think. Sucks we can't fire our owner. More mediocrity. This is pathetic. What happened to the Cardinal way? It goes on and on and on like this. And there are some people who are saying positive things and supporting the extension. I ran a poll, which is still up, by the way, on X. If you follow us at LO_Cardinals, that, good or bad, with the Oli extension? What is it in your opinion? And last I looked at it, it was like 60-something% said it was a good thing. So a lot of fans get it, but not everybody is thrilled with the idea that Oli's coming back. And Oli's going to get a chance to prove these people right or prove them wrong. He's going to get an opportunity. I don't know what most people think would be considered a successful record for this team in 2026. I mean, you see the projections. There's a lot of people out there that think they're going to be like a 60-something win type of team. I still don't think it's going to be that bad as long as they maintain their health for the most part. But I would think that, if they have a better record than the team last year and are at like 500, would that be enough for the upset Oli haters to feel like this is progress? I don't know, maybe. But if they do fall to 70 or less wins, these fans are going to go ballistic. They're going to lose their minds. And he's going to continue to get the blame along with Heim, who's going to turn into another person that people are upset with. And, of course, the DeWitts, who people are upset with already. I think we all, as a collective, want the Cardinals to win. And back-to-back losing seasons, which is completely in play for the first time in a while, it could happen. The anger, if it does, the anger is going to continue to build, and seats will continue to remain open at Busch Stadium, sadly, because it's rough to watch. But the vision that ownership, management, Oli, that they're all trying to sell is that doing it this way is going to lead to greener pastures in 2027 and more specifically 2028, when Oli will still be here and we'll have a team who is in a winning window instead of this season, like this year, where they're just putting together the framework of that winning window. Like, Heim has never mixed his messages by any means. Like, he's saying, look, long-term, we're not taking shortcuts, and it's going to take a little time. So please be with us. But we're still going to try to win. We're still going to try to put out exciting and good baseball. We'll see if it happens or not. But agree or disagree on this extension with Oli. Unleash your fury in the comments section, whether it's good or bad. I want to hear from you guys, and I want to talk more about your comments and your thoughts on this in an upcoming episode. So we're going to hit on the games over the weekend. We got to talk about this, plus the $29 unlimited seats that has the baseball world buzzing. We'll get into all of that coming up next on Locked On Cardinals. Today, we're thrilled to be talking about our sponsor. I am a huge fan of the MLB The Show, and I cannot wait to get my hands on MLB The Show 26. Greatest Game in Baseball is back with its newest installment. Baseball fans are going to have a hard time pulling themselves away from the game. I'm still playing 25 every single day. I'm in franchise mode, and I'm trying to win with the players that the Cardinals have right now. It ain't easy, I'll be honest with you. But early access is coming on March 13th with full release on March 17th for MLB The Show 26, and a whole slew of things are coming from the team this week. Legends trailer, soundtrack release, ratings reveals, and Diamond Dynasty World Baseball Classic feature premiere. Excited to play with Team USA there. I love Diamond Dynasty, but I'm also a big franchise guy because I like being able to take the Cardinals and let myself be in charge. I get to spend the money. I get to decide who stays, who goes, who gets promoted, who's going down. And I use what limited skills I have on the controllers to try to bring that 12th world title to St. Louis. So if you're a gamer, a baseball fan, or just want to enjoy America's favorite pastime in a new, exciting way, you're going to love MLB The Show 26. Play as your favorite team and franchise players and see if you have what it takes to win your own World Series. Visit MLBTheShow.com/LockedOn. Use code LOCKEDON to unlock a pack for use in Diamond Dynasty. Internet connection required. Pre-order now. Available March 17th on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and Nintendo Switch. Rated E for everyone. Thanks again for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen of the day. Thank you for making Locked On, the #1 sports podcast network. All right, let's talk about on-the-field baseball. Cardinals lose on Friday and Sunday. They win on Saturday. Friday, they got walloped by the New York Mets. The Pond Scum got them 14-3, although we did have, one exciting moment in that game. J.J. Weatherholt smashed his first home run of the spring on the very first pitch that he saw from Devin Williams, who I believe was making his Mets debut in the spring, and it was the first pitch he threw all spring. That made it a 2-1 ball game. Mets were up 2-1 at the time. It was a bomb. 422 off the batter's eye in center field. No cheapie by any means, but was a rough day for the pitching staff. Justin Brule, our left-hander that they got from the Cleveland organization, did not have a good day. Tink Hentz, prospect, did not have a good day. Neither did Skylar Hales, who's a prospect. Each of them gave up 3 earned runs in the loss. Quinn Matthews got the start. He was wild early, which continues to be a problem, but he did strike out 3 to go along with 2 walks. He also hit a guy. He uncorked a wild pitch and picked off Juan Soto at second base in what was 2 very eventful innings of work. So Saturday, it was the Cardinals doling out the punishment with a 10-2 win over Yuri Perez and the Marlins. J.J. Weatherholt, once again, big game, 2 for 2. He had 3 RBIs, which was awesome to see. Also had a walk. He continues to have a fantastic eye at the plate, which led the barrage that included 18 hits in this one. Cesar Prieto hit a home run. JJ, Mason Wynn, Jordan Walker, Prieto, and Jimmy Crooks each had multi-hit efforts in that particular game. The team went 7 for 14 with runners in scoring position. How do we bottle that up and keep it for the regular season? How do we do it? Also got a couple stolen bases from Victor Scott and Mason Wynn. So a lot of fun offensively on Saturday. Michael McGreevy got the start, allowed 1 run over 2 in the 3rd innings. The only other Marlins run came against Matt Swanson, but saw some good work from the bullpen. Ryan Stanek made his debut. He looked great. Struck out a couple. Packy Naughton continues to impress. Gordy Graceffo also threw a shutout inning in the win. And then on Sunday, the offense went back into hibernation, went back to sleep. They got 1 hit. 1 hit. All we got was 1 GD hit, as Harry Doyle would say from the fantastic movie Major League. Fall to the Pirates on Sunday by a score of 6-1. Kyle Leahy had a forgetful day. Rough start for him. Was tagged for a 2-run home run by Pirates 19-year-old phenom Connor Griffin, who, by the way, I tweeted this out or X'd this out. I don't know what the hell you call it anymore, but he looks remarkably like Jack Flaherty did when he was younger. Go look at the photos. They could be brothers. They could be brothers. It's uncanny. But Leahy did not look good. He allowed 4 runs on 4 hits. He walked 3 in just 2 2/3 innings, so not ideal by any means. We do not need to freak out yet about Kyle Leahy. And again, this is competition. We still haven't seen Hunter Dobbins yet. So this is still competition for who's going to make the rotation, you know? So somebody's going to have to go back to the bullpen. It's going to happen. Speaking of the pen, Jojo Romero gave up a solo home run in his 1 inning of work. Reigning Cardinals minor league pitcher of the year, Bryson Motts, allowed 1 run on 1 hit, walked 3, but also struck out 3 in his 2/3 innings of work. Ivan Herrera got to be behind the plate for the first time this spring, so that was good to see that the health is progressing, the rehab, but still looking for his first hit of the spring. It was over. The lone hit for the Cardinals in this one came off the bat of Joel Pozo, hitting .333 this spring. If you're looking for a bench bat, you know, Pozo, maybe he's going to want a job. And lastly, and I want to bring this up because so many people have been texting me about this. My wife brought it up. I've got other hosts from Locked On teams bringing it up to me. The Cardinals have created a ticket deal, and it's getting a lot of attention. And it's called Coca-Cola Unlimited. Now it says, this is the read about it, with games starting at just $29, your ticket to Big Mac Land, which is in sections 271, 272. I've never been up there, which is shame on me. It includes unlimited access to classic ballpark favorites and ice cold Coca-Cola products all game long. No tabs, no transactions, just baseball and bottomless bites. Your choices include ice cold fountain Coca-Cola products, hot dogs, chicken tenders, bratwurst, nacho chips and cheese, French fries, popcorn, peanuts, kettle chips, and ice cream cups. And what I gather from this is that you select up to 3 items per visit. So every time you go to the concession, you get to pick 3 of these. And you get to return as often as you want to. Like, whoa, really? And again, starting at $29. Doesn't mean every time it's going to be $29 per ticket as far as I can tell, but most of my friends point out that there's no beer or liquor involved on the menu, which upset them greatly. They feel that they'll need at least some sort of buzz to sit through what they will call 4 Nolan Gorman strikeouts in bad baseball that they are anticipating and will witness here in 2026. But still, not a bad deal, right? You get a nice summer night out at the ballpark. Not one of those balmy nights. That would be awful. But you get a nice night, get you a ticket, and then just chow down. I don't know how many seats are in Big Mac Land. Again, I've never been up there, but I suspect that at least those 2 sections are going to be busier this season than we saw last year. But let me know your thoughts on this deal. Is it enough to get you back to the ballpark for a game or two? Or are you like my friends who aren't impressed due to the lack of beer on the menu and the talent on the field and still are like, nah, I'm not going. So let me know. Cardinals face the Marlins on Monday. Andre Palante, your scheduled starter. First pitch, 12:05 St. Louis time from Jupiter. Thank you guys for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. Please give us a follow on X at @LO_Cardinals and at JD Sports Radio. We're on TikTok and Instagram and Locked On Cardinals as well. Like, subscribe on YouTube. You can help our channel and love for the Cardinals grow. Still pushing for 14,000 subscribers, slowly but surely. We're getting there. If you never miss an episode, check out the Everydayer Club. It's built for you. Get Locked On Cardinals ad-free, plus members-only Discord access and more. Go to LockedOnSTLCardinals.supercast.com to join the club. Don't forget that code word SPRING, SPRING, to get you a free month. For those of you on video, we'll send you to the first ever 24/7 National Locked On Podcast Network YouTube channel. On audio, make sure your second listen is with our guy Sully at Locked On MLB. You're the best fans in baseball for a reason. We'll see you next time on Locked On Cardinals.